Hi everybody, Gina here with Belly Beads. Here today to bring you a tutorial on my two favorite projects, journaling and paper beads. So this project I learned from another YouTuber, and I'll link that below in the description. But I thought that I'd bring my paper beads into this. So I incorporated two different projects. And these are really a whole lot of fun, and they're very addicting, and they're great. They're very lightweight, and if you're out and about and you need some paper, always bring your journal. Look how cute. It looks like a little purse. I've been using these for a good 6 months, and I thought I have got to make this tutorial. Look, when you open it up, it has little envelopes, little tucks. Now there's this whole new lingo vocabulary in junk journaling that I'm still learning. There's tucks, there's signatures, and this is what this is right here. These are called signatures. There's a particular amount of paper bound together, and little envelopes, little tucks, little secret. Look at these little pockets, and then of course we have paper beads. Of course we have paper beads. So let's get started. I want to show you, oh, here's one of my other favorite ones. I have this like this old newspaper, and in junk journaling they have a lot of vintage things, a lot of vintage paper, and I found this great paper. It was newspaper, and I thought that would be great for this journal. And you can sew on paper, which I really believe is the most mind-blowing thing for me. When I started this, I thought you can sew on paper. I thought it was awesome. And the papers that you choose are so pretty. You can choose them from your cardstock. Definitely opened up many doors for me. And there is paper beads hanging from this as well. So I'm going to put this away, and I'm going to show you how to make it. You need a ruler, you need an awl, and you need these envelopes. This is the larger envelopes. They do make smaller envelopes, and I got them at the dollar store. The smaller envelopes, I'm going to show you what they look like. You get about 8 of them. You use your paper, 12 by 12. Then you're going to get some more paper and cut it down to 8.5 by 11. You have your scissors, of course your paper beads, and they're going to be your handle, which I thought was really neat. You're going to need glue and string, anything that you have around your house, it doesn't matter. You're going to need some Scotch tape, and this is ink and a little, we call them little daubers. It's to distress the paper, which is really kind of awesome. And when it's to distress the edges, as I just showed you. It's really kind of cool. It makes it very vintage-like, very old and very distressed. So the first thing I want to show you is the envelopes I want to show you. These are smaller envelopes. Now I haven't made any smaller journals, but I can just see them now. They're going to be the cutest thing. And once you see this one, when it's done, you're going to make a whole lot of them like I did. Now this little brad here that we want to take off, just be careful. It does have little prongs, but it's very easy to take off if you just kind of wiggle it back and forth. You can, and see, it just comes right off. There is this little piece of paper, sticky paper, you can take off as well. This is all going to be covered. It just creates bulk if you keep it on. You want to go ahead and fold it right to the crease of the flap where it flaps over. So this is on the inside of the flap, not the outer part of the envelope. Now you want to turn over your envelope, and we're going to choose our paper. Now remember, when choosing your paper, if it has writing on it, you want to make sure it's right side up. It's not crooked, or if you want it crooked, that's fine too. You can use any kind of glue. I'm using just the glue stick. You can use Elmer's glue, you can use clear glue. You can measure this paper out if you want, but I think this is the quickest and easiest way actually for tutorial purposes. You're just going to go ahead and glue this down. And you do want to go over the flap and just put it all over. Make sure that you have the edges and everything so the paper doesn't come up. And then you want to press your paper down. Don't go over the folded flap, the edge. You do just want to go over to that area right there. And you can press it down with your hand. You can press it down if you have a roller. Then you're going to flip it over and you want to cut along there. I am very careful with the scissors so I don't cut the envelope itself, so you want to make sure that you have really sharp scissors. And don't cut the edge of the envelope yet. We will be cutting the edge of the envelope, but I'll show you a little later what we do with that. And you just keep going all the way around. And then once you're done this part, you want to ensure that everything is glued down, even the edges, and if it isn't, then you want to go ahead and reinforce that. You definitely want to reinforce the flap. You can get your ruler, because now that you have this extra additional paper over it, it may be a little bit more heavier. So you want to crease it and just reinforce that. Choose your second piece of contrasting paper. Now you don't have to, you can have the whole entire paper and use it. It's up to you. You do want to, though, however, you do want to go over that flap over the edge. So this is what it looks like, about a little bit about an inch over. Now this is the back side of the envelope itself. So you want to get the mark it right there and grab your paper. There's a couple options you can do here. You can go ahead and measure it out and then pre-cut it, but I'm just going to go ahead and glue everything down. This seems to be the easiest way. And again, take your time with it. I am going a little quicker because of video purposes. I don't want it to be too long. And just get your glue and place it all on there. Smear it all on, and then press down your paper. Remember that little mark you made to go over the folded area. Press down your paper. I think the glue, the stick glue, is a little better with the paper because it doesn't make it too bulky. Then you want to flip it over. Now this is the fun part. We don't want to cut the edge. We want to cut that edge though. And I'm going to show you what I'm talking about to make a little flap. Look at that. Isn't that cool? All right, so we're going to get our scissors just for this part, and we're going to cut, but we don't want to cut the envelope on this side. We want to cut it on that side. Now, to make a nice clean cut, we can go ahead and use just, you know, our automatic cutter, or I forget what these are called. Our little slicer there, and that makes for a very clean cut envelope opening. Look at that. See? Now again, make sure that you can cut it with your scissors too. Make sure that the paper isn't lifting up. If it is, glue it back down, but keep pressing it down as you go. As you can see, that little piece needed it, and there you go. I think it's coming along really nicely. I'm checking all the edges to make sure that they're all down. So now that we have it, we're going to flip it over and we're going to reinforce that middle part. Again, I'm getting my ruler, pressing it down, because once you have the paper, it makes it a little heavier. Oh, if anyone has known that I did have a cat last year, I lost my beloved other cat, and we just got our kitten, and she just made her debut. If you saw her little head, and there she goes, Lily. All right, she made her debut onto my video. So we're going to flip over the envelope and we're going to choose another color for the left side of the envelope. Now this is a little trickier part. So um, in the journals, I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. That's going to be this piece. We can go ahead and sew down. Oops, there she goes again. We can sew down the other little pockets that we're going to put on there. And I think she likes this color. Yeah, she approves. Okay. um, this part is optional. You can glue it all down. If you don't want to sew the pockets, glue everything down. If you don't want to, glue down any of the pockets and you want to sew them on, then just measure it out and don't glue it. But I'm gonna use this as a temporary, just putting it at the edges here, just to show you your options. I'm just going to measure it out. Now again, you can pre-measure this out so you don't have to do it this way, but I didn't glue down the entire piece because I want to pick it back up again to show you if you do decide you want to sew the pockets on. I didn't want to do it in this video. It takes a while and I didn't want to stop. So I didn't glue it down. If you decide to put your pockets on like this and sew them, then you don't want to glue it all down. You want to take it over to your sewing machine and then bring over your pockets. But I'm not going to sew them today, but I'm going to show you how to measure out your pockets. I've chose this paper and I'm going to go ahead and use the pencil. I'm just going to mark it right there and cut it. And I'm on a camera. I am sorry about that. Okay, I think the notch is right there. Let me make sure. Yeah, right there. Okay, we're good. And just go ahead and slice it. And then what else do we have here? We are going to, I think that's good. That's good. All right. Let me just clean this up a little bit because I'm going to show you another little trick to make them even. You can again measure them all out, but what I typically do is once I found that's the right size, I'm going to fold it over because I like to make them a little smaller. You can make them larger as well. That's the fun part about this, is you can make them as big as you want, any kind of size. Oh, Lily, you like this too? You're gonna get hurt, honey. Come on. Oh boy. All right. All right. Yes, I've chose this color, Lily. Oh boy. Here we go, darling. All right, let's put this aside and let's go ahead. I want to show you where I'm going to place these at. I'm going to get the same paper and I'm going to make another one on the top there, but I think it may be, I have an idea, it might be a little bit different because I like that red bird in the middle of it. So usually, again, you can measure all these out, but you know, when you're making these journals, it's funny how things take a different turn. You think of something, oh, I could do this or I could do that, and then it just completely changes the entire idea. So I think that's what's happening with me right now. I'm changing my idea, but I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. So I'm going to get my cutter. And for the life of me, I can't remember what these are called. My slicer, I don't know, but I'll remember probably later on after the video is done. Okay, and I think that I like this bird, but I want to put it on the side, but then he'll be crooked. So I think I have an idea. I'm going to cut this part off. And again, your pockets don't all have to be the same size. It depends